Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Scale Riders podcast, episode number 245. I am your host, 65 Lokes. I hope everybody's doing well. We have now made it to March of 2025. Man, I can't believe, we were bringing in the new year and now we are in March. So let's get things started with model news. Big announcement. I wanted to let you guys know here first on the podcast. We will be carrying Auto Modeler magazine soon. We have been in contact with the magazine regarding carrying the magazine in our store, and we're pretty much set up, but we're going to be starting off with their newest release. And let's see here. I'm going to go on their website, so give you guys some more info on there. And this is how all this kind of came together. So not too long ago, last month, I was vending at the event in Ventura, which was the Model Fest. And, one of my homies, Bob, came through. He brought like a stack of magazines. He had let me know ahead of time that he wanted me to sign a couple of his mags where my models were featured in. And, I was like, what the heck? Like, all right, cool, man. I'm down, I'm down with that. I was very honored for him to tell me they want to do that. And then, from looking at the mags, I noticed a couple other names in there from other people too that were gonna, get stuff signed. And I thought it was pretty awesome. So on the stack, he did have an issue auto modeler, and I was like, it was like issue number 4. So I was like, yo, can I see that? And he's like, yeah, check it out. So I was flipping through the pages, and I had never seen the magazine. I do remember seeing solicitations, I believe, for issue number 1, sometime last year, and I just don't remember what month it was, but I remember seeing some solicitations, but I never really got to see like a physical magazine. So I was not sure if this was like going to be a digital magazine or what kind of magazine it was going to be. So, now seeing that it was a tangible printed book, and I had it right in front of me, I was flipping through all the pages, and I started to see, some familiar cars from artists that were on Instagram, and I was like, oh man, this is a really nice magazine too, thinking about like Dedicated Magazine, Model Cars Magazine, and having this one here, a new edition, Auto Modeler. I was like, man, this is pretty dope. Each magazine is doing, their own thing, contributing to the hobby and the community. So, I want to go ahead and, carry that. I was very interested in carrying this magazine, got in contact with them, and issue 5 will be the new one that I'll be carrying in store. As of right now, I'm not sure when that'll be, if it's next month or the next couple months, but I know once that announcement comes out and they get in contact with me regarding issue number 5, that will be a new issue that I'll be putting up, especially for like pre-order. I know most people are probably, subscribing. So you can also subscribe to them directly. It's automodelermag.com. That is their website where you can subscribe. Or, if you want to pick up an issue from our site, you can go, get that there. And the thing with the magazines, it's really cool to carry, variety of different magazines because, each one of them has different sections, different information, different write-ups, different features, and also the showcasing of different shows, just different parts of the U.S. are, documenting things as they go along. So it's kind of cool to be able to like get all this stuff in a magazine and, store it away, and maybe some years later pull these out and look through them and just look at the years, how much time has passed. And it's almost like looking at a time capsule right there. So that's going to be a future magazine we'll be carrying right there. And I'm very excited about that. It's going to be coming out like every couple months. So in a year, there'll be about like 6 issues that will drop. And, obviously it's a new magazine. I'm sure they're very motivated, very hungry and everything to get out there on the scene, which is awesome. And, I look forward to working with them and bringing in these new issues that'll be coming forward. And And I'm gonna try my best to try to bring in as many books as I can from not just U.S. but also like overseas. I know for the most part, if I start bringing in like Japanese magazines, we don't know how to read it or right off the bat, but there are apps or even through Google where you could scan or hover your phone over those paragraphs and or sentences, and it will translate for you on the spot. Um, Speaking of that, another magazine that we currently do have in our store is Model Art magazine, and this is one that's from Japan. And I had to make a section on the website. So if you go to our website, scalewriters.com, up at the top in the link bar, you'll see where it'll read Scale Model Magazine, and you'll be able to see currently what we have in stock and also previous issues that we used to have, as well as like pre-orders of what's up and coming. So currently we do have a Model Art magazine. This is a June edition of 2019. Those we just got a restock on those. There's also another one. This is more like a specialty, like a series book by them. And this one here is titled How to Build Motorcycle Model 2024. So this came out last year, this other one, but this is specifically dedicated as to building a motorcycle like 1/12 scale. And from looking at the cover, it's mostly a lot of like Tamiya kits, but I'm sure they also showcase some of the other kits, for example, like Hasegawa, Fujimi, because there's also other brands that do 1/12 scale as well in the motorcycle scene. So these are also some really cool books that bringing in, just flipping through the pages and seeing there's a lot of neat things that are in there, a lot of tech tips and stuff like that. Even if we can't read it, like I don't know how to read it at all. It's not my main language, but it's something that, man, I would definitely love to learn to read. And just from seeing the images right there, you could kind of understand what's going down right there. Another thing too that we will be carrying in the near future, and we have it up for pre-order, is the Tamiya 2025 catalog. So the catalog, it pretty much features everything that they've released up to date, from scale model kits, from their RC line, also aircraft, military, like the warships, all kinds of different stuff. It varies down to the tools, down to the paints, pretty much everything that's been released from Tamiya. It's in this catalog. It's updated. I want to say they probably release these maybe every year. I've never gotten my hands on one ever. It's something that, I've done searches on, and I'm starting to see previous years, but I've never once seen one before. So I don't know how hard these are to get or to find. My distributor has them available, and I want to carry them in my store. So I did place an order with them, and I also have them up for pre-order. So once these come in, I'll be shipping them out. And I'm pretty sure I'll still have some available for those, in case if you're listening to this a little later after this has been posted, there might be a chance there'll still be some issues in there. I did only order a limited quantity of them. And there's also like a link for a YouTube video that somebody had done on this listing. So like if you go to our website and you click the Tamiya catalog, in the description there is going to be a video where you could play, and pretty much it's just someone showing you the magazine, what's inside of it right there. So that right there will give you a clear idea. I mean, the cover is very beautiful, but just flipping through it, from what I saw in the video, I was like, all right, I'm getting these definitely. And even before starting this recording of this episode, I was on Facebook, and I noticed that Model Cars magazine is also dropping their newest issue, number 226. This issue is set to be, I want to say, this month of March. I mean, their post was pretty clear, saying that these issues are now shipping out, and they will pretty much be in your mailbox soon. For those that are not subscribed to them, you can always sign up for a subscription at modelcarsmag.com. And if not, if you're not into subscriptions and, you missed out on it and you want this issue, we got your back. We will be carrying this issue right here. I also wanted to give a big shout out to Wes Salazar. He made it on the cover. He has a Ford pickup truck, which he painted in various colors. And this is all splash paints that was used on this build here. I remember I want to say probably a couple years back, or a few years back, might be, when I was vending out at the NNL West. He did bring that out there, and he put it on a stand there on my table. And I want to say that might have been the first time he busted out with that right there, and it was pretty cool because I had the products there for sale, and at the same time he brought out that truck, and I mean that truck made a lot of noise. It definitely, he's like such a high level skilled artist builder, and all this stuff is like very flawless. So just seeing this thing in person, you'll be blown away. And now you'll be able to get this on this issue here, seeing some event coverage and things like that, and especially being on the cover, you're definitely going to be in for a treat and get to see more in depth on this build right here. So shout out to Wes. I know he always makes the effort to come out here to California, and he travels, he goes everywhere. He's all over the place checking out all the events right there. So shout out to him. And so right now, for those of you that got the dedicated magazine, there's also going to be like the one I just mentioned, Model Cars Magazine, and then in the near future, Auto Modeler Magazine, starting off with us on issue number 5, which I'm very excited about. And if you're interested in those model art magazines, we will be stocking those as well. So there's a lot of just tangible books with information. If you got the space and you're into this kind of thing, then this should be fun, especially for references. And then now we're in 2025. A lot of the times, a lot of these things, don't really exist so much. A lot of things get archived on the internet and online, and the next thing pictures go missing or things get deleted, and you lose a lot of info. So it's always like trying to hunt things down. So here you could definitely have a lot of the things documented. And one of the things too that I was thinking about, like Bob, who had asked me like, hey, can you sign this? How cool would it be like if you bought, like, let's say a couple issues? One issue, is like the issue you just keep kind of mint for a collector's piece. And then your secondary issue, especially if you're here in California and you want to, have some fun with it, if you see friends that are featured in there, or just people that, are in the magazine that are in SoCal, and you see them at these shows, why not bring the magazine and have them sign it too, I think that would be pretty cool, just to get like some like little throwdown signatures right there with like a marker or a pen. I think that would be pretty neat, just to have, so this way later when you ever flip through that book, you could see, oh man, look, I even have this autograph right here. Like, how cool would it be to have like an autograph from like Gary Seeds, for example? I don't know, just kind of throwing that out there, but it'd be kind of fun, to do something like that. But so the magazines, they, some are already out there and some are forthcoming. So looking forward to that right there. And I'm just very excited. I wonder what else will come out in the future with other magazines that are going to be out there. And let's see. Let's move on to events. So this one here, just recently, last week, I was on the phone with my homie George, which you guys know him as Vision 124 from Diversified Scalers MCC out in New Jersey. And we were it's been a while. Most of you guys that follow him don't have noticed that George has not been posting on Instagram, but it doesn't mean he's not active. He's been like very active building and working on stuff. It's just he's just been busy. But later you guys will see some of the stuff he busts out with. But for the time being, right now, he's doing his thing, and he's definitely if you're on New Jersey and you're planning on going on these upcoming events that I'm going to mention, you might be able to see him there. So one of the ones that we spoke about that he had mentioned, because I was like, hey, so what's up, man? What's going down this month, or how's everything in your area? Like, you guys got any shows or anything like that? And then he told me about some shows, and I was like, dude, like, send me the info, because I would definitely like to plug these shows. I know lately I've been talking a lot more about the California SoCal shows, but at the same time, I know we have listeners too that are out in the East Coast, and I want to go ahead and mention them out there as well. So he said that in this month of March, he's going to be attending an event. So this is an event that's being presented by Rick the Builder. So on Instagram, it's Rick which is DA _ Builder. It's model cars and coffee. So this event here, it's $5 per person. Children under 12 are free. So it's taking place Sunday, March 23rd, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The address is 312 Gernantz Church Road, Leesport, PA 19533. There's no trophies or rewards. There will be vendors. Bring as many cars as you want. Contact Ricky's Cars and Coffee at yahoo.com. So this is, for more info on this right here. And, this event is let me see. I'm trying to zoom in here because there's a couple sponsored. One of them, I could read it off from far away, Diversified Scalers. And this other one, it's ESS Resin Works. There we go. I had to zoom in real quick on that. So, this is going to be a get-together, model cars and coffee, early morning. And this is pretty cool, because it's just something very, casual where, you want to invite as many people as you can to come down to this and not feel like oh, man, I stressing out like a week before, like, man, it's competition, like, days before, taking days off work, like, I gotta stay up late, I gotta finish these cars, not that kind of a stress. It's more like a chill kind of vibe. Even if you don't even, finish any models and you're in the works, it's always nice to see even models that are primered, or even just a body, that's like painted out, looks dope. There's nothing else, there's nothing on it yet, but it's just a body, complete builds, anything like that. It's always been, it's always fun to see that kind of stuff right there. So, it's $5 per person. And if you got children, that you want to bring in, maybe, now me being a father, I'm like, man, my daughter's getting bigger. I'm going to have to start bringing her to events, and you guys are going to end up meeting her at some point in the future. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be vending. My daughter's going to be right there. She might be 5 years old, and then later 6, and you guys are going to be like, oh, dang, like, that's who he was mentioning. And it's just all this time, it goes. But at the same time, it helps to bring your kids to these events. So this way they participate and they get to see what their dad or mom are into. And just hang out, get out of the house, do something different. And also give a chance for dad or mom to be out there, meeting up with their friends and just doing their thing and not having to like let go of their identity, pretty much keeping that identity there, showing their kid like, look, this is what I'm into, and these are my friends and stuff like that. So this way they understand like, oh man, like, this is what my dad does or what he's into, so that support's there, And so that's one show for March that is coming up. I did post it on my Instagram. So if you guys go to my Instagram, you will see this flyer here. And man, just from looking at it, they put like a little cup right there with the coffee. Man, I'm craving coffee. I think it's been, I broke it. It's almost been a week that I have not been drinking coffee. And the other day, I think I had some. So maybe 5 days I lasted, not even 7 days. But I don't know. I just been drinking nothing but like organic green tea and organic black tea. Those are the two I've been going for right now, and just a bunch of water. Just drinking a ton of water. But anyway, just seeing that, man. Maybe tomorrow I might make a coffee tomorrow. I don't know. I don't want to do it right now. For me, I don't stay up. Like if I have a coffee right now, it's more just for the taste and the flavor. But it's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I can't sleep. Like nah. For me, it does not work like that. And I don't even put sugar and nothing in it. It's just straight black. But I just, if I gotta go to sleep, I go to sleep. But in the mornings, because it's warm, it's cold, and you want to keep warm, whatever. It's like, oh man, I want coffee. So all right, let's move on. Next event, this is going down also in the East Coast in New Jersey. This one here I'm talking about is the NNL East. All right. So the Tri-State Scale Model Car Club presents the 37th annual NNL East Model Car Show, Scale Marketplace, Cottage Industry Expo, and retro theme is going round in circles. Show theme, circle track vehicles, sub theme racetrack transporters. Ooh, that's going to be pretty cool. 25th anniversary of NNL East 14. Man, 25 years. That's crazy. So in the 2000s, must have been the first one right there. So this is taking place on April 26, 2025, 1 Powell Drive, Wayne, New Jersey, 07470. For show information, visit www.nnleast.com or send an email to nnleast@aol.com. So this is an event here that, George mentioned that he participates in, as part of the NNL East. He helps them with that event. And I believe some of his members too from his club also help them as well. And this is one that he said he will be at. Even the previous one I mentioned, he's going to be at that one as well. So this is an event that they're going to be there, taking part of. And if you guys are going to these events, you will be seeing George right there. And if you see him, tell him I say what's up. That you heard it on the podcast. And because I told him, hey, I'm gonna mention these shows right here. All right, so there's those two shows, and there's another show, but this one is the Acme, the Atlanta show. This is one that he was telling me about, and he's like, man, you need to come out to this show right here. And it's up in the air. This is one that it's very, very, very tempting. So this is the 2025 Southern Nationals. It's taking place October 25th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Clarence Brown Conference Center, Cartersville, Georgia. Let's see here. 5450 State Route 20, Cartersville, Georgia, 30121. The hotel, they have a hotel that's going to be hosting it. It's the Marriott Courtyard, Cartersville, and it's pretty much 5460 highway. It's like right next to it, basically, like the address from what I was just reading. So if you guys want any more info on this, visit www.acme, let me see, was that -ipms.com. So this is a huge one there. I know this is one Matthew Dennis has been telling me about for years. I know Scottsdale Builds goes to this right here. Our homie Shane, Man Cave Models. This is one he goes to a lot. Vision 124 goes to this event. And I mean, there's a ton of people that go to this event. A lot of people from Florida, the East Coast, from, New Jersey, New York, people from Texas. There's a lot of people that go to this show right here. So this is one that, he's been telling me, man, I'm telling you right now, might want to note this one down and come out. It's 100 years of Mopar in drag racing. That's what's on the flyer right there. So those events are what's going down out there outside of the California. So if you guys are listening to this, have any other events that you would like for me to mention that's happening in your area that you want me to spread some word, please email me that information. And our email address is info@scaleriders.com. Please send me the picture of the flyer, and you know, whether it's a PNG, JPEG, or PDF. You know, any of those formats will help. This way I can like look into this and read it out loud. But obviously, you know, like events that are going down, and I gotta make sure they are going down, because I don't want to mention like a made up show or something like that, you know. That'd be pretty funny. But so that right there is going down. And an update too with you know, the upcoming show that we got scheduled for Sunday, May 4th, 2025 out here in SoCal is the SoCal Open event. And the vendor tables are pretty much live now. And I already booked my table. Shout outs to my friend Rudy. He gave me the heads up. He's also got a table vending out there. So I know we're both locked in already to be vending on May 4th. And I believe, you know, it's not too sure. It's 50-50. But there is a chance that Low Automotive Car Parts might be there as well. All the way from Japan. That's Gavin. He might be coming out as well. So we were kind of chatting about that the other day, kind of throwing it out there. And, you know, just, you know, he'll make that official later. Once, I'm pretty sure on Instagram, he'll make that announcement. If everything, you know, is smooth and it's meant to be, it's meant to be, you know. And if he does that announcement, then I'll be the first to let you guys know here on the podcast. And then later let everybody know on social media. Another show that we're going to be booking, you know, our table in would be for an event. That's WonderCon, September 7th in Oxnard. This is one where I was mentioning to you guys last week where, man, I feels like I have so much history there with events, prom, all this crazy stuff. So that one there, we're going to be booking our table soon for that. And then the other one in November for the NHRA Museum. So, you know, regarding events and all this stuff. So, you know, I was talking to my dad. We were chilling, you know, at my parents' business at his flower shop, and I was telling my dad, "Hey, Dad, you know, I had this idea about doing like a pop-up, like here at the flower shop, where, you know, I want to do it on a Sunday. The store's closed. I pretty much, you know, cover up the windows, people can't see in or whatever, and I want to do like a event, like a private. I want it to be like a Scale Riders private stash event that's gonna go down there, you know. And I pretty much, you know, I want to invite people over. Definitely RSVP for something like this, and you know, more info on this later. I haven't set like a date. I'm just throwing it out there now. I'm starting to like manifest it. I want to definitely get myself hyped on this to make it happen, and just do something where, you know, I want people to come over, hang out, and I'm also gonna be bringing things that I want to get rid of. There's gonna be you know, scale model kits that I plan on clearancing out, getting rid of. There could be paints, there could be various things. There could probably even be some of my personal like builds, parts, or whatever. Like, you know, things, various miscellaneous things that, you know, like I said, private stash stuff that I want to sell, and I want to you know, make room, pretty much get it out, and plan ahead for the new things that will be coming out. So I'll let you guys know later on this. If this is something that you're interested in, you know, that you want to come out to, you can also shoot an email to info@scaleriders.com. And this is going to be something that's going to be going down for sure in the city of Oxnard, California, there, and I'll let you guys know when, because it'll be pretty soon, when I'll be kind of putting things together, kind of drafting out the idea of the details on the news and all that for this event right here that I want to do. So it will be like a private event. So it's not going to be something where, I'm going to have the door open for the public like that, to walk in, because, I'm going to have it closed and all. And, once you RSVP and I have all the RSVPs from everybody, I will know, who's going to be coming, and I'll send you the info ahead of time through the RSVP with the address and the times that I want to set for this, and we'll go from there. So if this is something that you're into and you're in the area in California and you want to come out to and hang out and chill, send me that email right there and let me know your thoughts. So that is it for the events. Another thing I wanted to mention regarding Scale Motorsport. So the other day I put in an order with my distributor, and they still carry some stock of Scale Motorsport, and I'm always like a little bit curious, because I've been ordering from them for a long time, and I've also ordered directly from Scale Motorsport. But since the announcement, and now, like, if you go to the website, you could look at information regarding their products, but you could not add to cart or even check out at all. Like, you just can't. There was a date where on the site it said, like, if you wanted to place an order, please email us. And it's a trip, because I checked the site and that was like the poster said, like, contact us on this, and that was that same date. I reached out, but I never got through. So I was just like, oh man, that's it for sure, So directly, I can't get anything at all, right? So my second source is my distributor, which pretty much, still has some stock, which I've been picking up, and now my stash of Scale Motorsport stuff is like running out. Like, people have been visiting our site. They've been picking up as many sheets as they can of it. And, they're definitely, being like purchased for future use. And I needed to re-up on some of the different ones that they offer. So then I went ahead and I put in an order, and then I noticed, I put like a larger quantity of what I wanted. And next thing you know, it was like, oh man, like when they sent me the list of what they sent out, it wasn't even close to from what I ordered. So pretty much at this point, a lot of that stuff's out of stock now, even with the distributor. So I was like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. So with the distributor, if I go to their website and I start looking up the list of things, all that, like, a lot of it's out of stock. It's completely gone. So even like sheets that are like in the 1/20th scale, the carbon fiber in black that most people use, that black weave, all that stuff's like gone already. 1/24 scale, I still have some sheets, and that's all dead stock. And once that runs out, that's it. I'm not gonna have any more. I won't be able to get any more or anything. And some stuff's coming in. I'm hoping it arrives this week. If not, it might arrive like next week. But once I get that stuff in, it's gonna go up on the site, and I'm gonna make a little description on there just to let people know, like, this is it. Like, this is like the dead stock of all I have. I don't know, where else you can get it from, but that's pretty much all I have right there. I was trying to stock as many different various, all the different carbon fibers that he was putting out. And it's a solid product. It does really well and everything, but it's like a trip, like, dang, like, it was time for it to come to an end. I'm gonna do my best to try to get in contact to see if if I can get some stuff direct, if there's anything laying around. Maybe there's a box that is still available for sale or something, but I don't know. As of right now, it's just, this is it. Even the stands, I try to order as many stands as I could, and there's certain ones, that's it. They're gone. They're done. So right now, I know currently I have 3 stands in the shop, but I think I have like maybe a few more incoming, and that's it. I couldn't really get as many because they just don't have any anymore. But I just wanted to let you guys know, give you guys an update on that. So as of right now, I mean, whatever I have, that's it. And it's all just like dead stock right there. And giving you guys an update of kind of what I've been up to. This last week I got really busy. I wasn't able to really work. Oh damn! Hold on, let me fix this mic. This little mic's like falling off. Hoping it didn't make that much noise. So I got up. I'm just like walking around. I didn't really get a chance to really work on the model these last few days. I just been kind of busy processing like all the new items that we got in the site, just consolidating, putting things together, like for example, all the Fujimi kits together, all the Yoshima kits together, and then all the small detail parts, getting everything checked in. And a lot of the times that stuff takes a lot of time because, if you purchase something and, it ships out, you have a limited time to list these things on your site. If they're not listed, it's always easy when the items are already listed and all you got to do is update the restock, like number, quantity, and that's it. But when it's something, a completely new product, it takes a little bit of time. But if you got to do like, 10, 20 items, that's going to take a while. That could take 30 minutes, an hour. It could take a while. And sometimes you get burned out sitting down, just manually like updating and putting stuff in, so a lot of that stuff, plus like, stacking boxes and moving all this stuff, it kind of, by the time you want to work on your model, you're already kind of burned out, You're like, oh man, I got to take a break. I'll do it tomorrow. So I just been kind of busy with like personal life, and then also, running the online shop, that later, once I have one of the days where I don't have to ship stuff out, I'm able to like get back on it and just like, finish it off. And that's pretty much it. So that's kind of an update with that. The other thing too, I've been kind of looking around in my area to see the possibilities of possibly renting like some office space too. I definitely am looking for a place to create a studio where I could pretty much want to broadcast the podcast from. So that's something that I've just been kind of on the hunt, kind of looking around and seeing what's up, because there are a lot of places that are available for that kind of stuff. But man, some places, like, I think they overdo it. I think they exaggerate the lease like way too much, and a lot of that stuff's like sublet. So I'm looking for something where I have like basically 24-hour access, like whenever I need to access it, and I don't have to like wait for a different place to open because it's sublet. I don't want to do that. So I'm still kind of looking around. I'll keep you guys posted on that right there. So I definitely want to do something like this in the future. I know I could do it from home, like video stuff and all this and that, but I kind of want to do a little studio kind of thing, and have guests on and stuff like that, and later be upgrading like cameras and mics and everything, and try to do it more on that like professional level right there. For right now, I do it like this. It works for me like this right now. To be consistent, try to do an episode every week. But in the future, when some people from out of town that are in town, we could schedule something up and make it happen, and hopefully you guys find it entertaining and enjoy and learn some things from it, you know. So those are kind of some of the things I've been kind of doing also. So I also wanted to shout out a couple of my friends because they're and also wanted to say congratulations. I don't think I've ever got to tell them congratulations, but I have a couple of friends that have retired already. You know, they've worked very long careers in the workforce, doing their thing and contributing to companies for so many years, and they finally have reached the point where they retired. I believe it's been maybe a year or so, or less than a year since this happened. I know you guys are probably listening to this, and I just wanted to congratulate you guys. I'm talking about Armando Flores and my friend Rudy Munoz. So, it's really nice to see, them in their element now, like post, retirement. And even before they even retired, they were still doing their thing, but at the same time, there's that responsibility and everything. But now that they're retired, it's really interesting to see that now, more projects, more things are being created and than ever before. And at the same time, it's just like that freedom. It's like another chapter in their life, where they could really focus on what they're working on and make things happen and not have to wait or anything. You just keep pushing and moving forward. And I'm pretty sure it's one of those things where they even lose track of the days. They don't even, like, every day is like a Saturday. It's not like how we feel it, like, oh man, it's Monday, I gotta go to work, or oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta do that, and that's pretty awesome. Not a lot of people get to reach that point, and even then, for those that do reach that point, they freak out. They don't know what to do. They start to panic and feel like, man, what do I do? I don't do. And then next thing you know, it's just like they wear themselves out, and then that's it. And I've seen this happen. I've witnessed it. I remember being a little kid and going to school and seeing one of the custodians, young in age, just working for the school, and I'm pretty sure being paid pretty well, a pension, everything, probably part of a union or something, and just like growing up and randomly, running into him, as I grew up, and just seeing him older and older and older, but still looking like good, for the age. And finally, to a point where, they, he retires, and then finally now, at that stage now, I was able to, like, hey, what's up? He's telling me he's retiring and everything, but then after that, it was just more of a panic, like, hey, what's up? How you been? How you doing? And everything was just panic. Like, oh man, I don't know what to do. It's driving me crazy. Like, I want to go back to work, or I want to do this, but I can't, and this and that. And I was just like, dang, like I was tripping out. Like, man, he's not even enjoying his retirement. It's just straight up, just trying to stay busy with something, but not knowing what. And then, I'm trying to, I tell my kids, hey, you need help, and they don't want nothing to do with me, like, they want me to do my own thing. They're busy, and I don't know. And I started to think, like, man, maybe he's been helping, doing his job for so long, his responsibilities and everything, like when you're someone, right? And then now you almost feel like you're nobody because nobody wants your services or anything, right? No one's calling for you like, hey, help me with this, or oh, let's make plans for this. And it's almost like, if you let yourself, by losing your identity,
by the time you get that free time and that free space, you won't know what to do, and that thing is gonna eat you up. And you know what? As time passed, I would see him, and then one point I never saw him again. And then later somebody had told me, oh yeah, he passed away. And I'm like, what? And I think he felt ill or something, and he passed. And I couldn't believe it. But then later, I saw the obituary, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. He wasn't even that old, and he passed away. Like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy, And it's I had a friend too who, when I met him, he was more he looked like a gothic kind of punk kind of guy, always wearing black and stuff, listening to experimental music, some punk music, some 80s, a little bit of everything. Very, very, like, he kept it interesting all the time. He always played different stuff. Oh, check this out. Oh, have you heard of this artist? He always had a backstory. Very interesting dude, right? And he's one of my close homies, and it's like, at some point, he got married, and then he had his daughter, and then time went on, and he got out of that. He started dressing different, color started coming to his life, started wearing bright colored t-shirts and this and that. And then I would be like, hey, what's up with the music, No, I'm not into that no more. I'm not into that. Like, I listen to this stuff now and this stuff. And I was like, dang, man, bro, you're becoming very conservative, Like, what the hell? So, what's up? Let's go to the show. Nah, I can't. Or I'm not into that no more. Damn, all right. It's all good. Don't trip. And then time passed, and next thing you know, it's like, see my friend, I'm like, dude, like you straight up look like a dad. Like, fuck. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, you look older than your age. Like, I don't know what it is, man. But it's just like, I would, like, it's like that was another life. Whatever when I met you, And he's like, yeah. And then time went on, and then one time, we're chopping it up. I'm like, hey, so what do you do now? Like, what are you into? Are you still making music, or what's going on? Or are you listening? Or are you buying records? What's up? Because these were like things we're into, and he's just like, nah. And then next thing you know, he's like, oh man, I don't know, man, it's driving me crazy not doing nothing. I started recording again. I started getting into my stuff, and then he started to like change. Now, oh, here we go, he's coming back. He started dressing the way that made him comfortable and feel good. And I was like, hey, bro, like, who's telling you, what, or what the hell? Who cares what people think? You do you, like, make whatever makes you happy. And yeah, he's like, he's doing his thing, but I could tell he was kind of getting depressed for a while. And then later, he did mention it. He's like, yeah, I feel like I was getting, like, it was like a phase of depression during that time because I wasn't doing the things I was doing, And I'm like, yeah, dude, don't let that go, And I feel like everybody, when everyone's young doing something, you're into something, right? Whether it's sports, whether it's skateboarding, whether, you're building models or something. And a lot of the times, the responsibility kicks in, and yeah, you have to step up, and you have to be there for your family. You have to provide, and you have to do all these things, right, to progress and get better. But at the same time, you also got to make some space for yourself and some time for yourself, And even if you give up one hobby, at least give it up for another one, Like if you're building model cars and you decide, you know what, I'm done, I'm not going to build no more. At least, if you're going to get into cars, like building like 101 scale cars, boom, there you go, that's your net thing. Or if you're going to get into pinstriping or whatever, dude, or even like collecting stamps, whatever, as long as it's something that like it, makes you happy, keeps your mind busy, and you feel like this is me, like this is what represents me. When people talk about me, they're gonna mention, like, if they know me, they know because of this. They know me by these things because I'm hella into them. I'm super into them, right? And if we start giving everything up, by the time we get our freedoms, and we already given everything up, we're almost lost. Like, we don't even know like what to do or what. It's almost like it's like working every day and having like a 9 to 5 every day, right? Every day, every day, every day. And then finally you get one day off on a Wednesday. And you don't know what to do because you've never taken time for yourself. You've never planned anything out. And then you just waste the whole day just being at home, not doing nothing. And already thinking about the next day. Like, oh, I already want to go back to work because I need to do this, I need to do that. Instead of like being like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to have Wednesday off. Woo. In the morning, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to do some exercise. Then I'm going to go to the beach. And then I'm going to meet up with some friends. We're going to, have dinner. And then boom, at night, probably catch a movie. And then back at like a productive day of stuff, right? It could be something like that. So, for those that are getting ready to retire, that haven't, I'm talking to you guys too right now. Do your thing, and if right now you're just kind of sitting back and not doing nothing, but you're paying attention to the scene, it might be time to start diving in and getting in there. So this way you keep that mind busy, I was telling Armando how I can't remember if I read this or I saw it on a video or an interview. I can't remember, but I know this stayed with me, where someone who built models was the thing is that like he wakes up early in the morning, he has his coffee, starts working on his models throughout the morning, which is like beautiful, right? Prime time. Like, think about it. When you get up in the morning, you wake up, you get dressed, you have your coffee. Imagine like a day where it's off, right? No work. You're having your coffee or your tea, and you step outside, and it's like that early morning, right? The air is fresh. It might be cold or it might be a sunny day, like in Southern California. Everyone's asleep or everyone's already off to work, and you're like, I got the whole day to myself. And then you go into your garage or your bench, and everything just feels right, that you're like, man, I get to do this in the morning right now, right? You do your thing, and if you get started like at least, let's just say, while you prep and eat your breakfast or whatever, right? But as long as you get started around 9 in the morning, you're still good, and you have it going for like 4 hours. That's perfect, because by that time it's gonna be like noontime, 12, 1 p.m. It's gonna be lunchtime, right? So what you do is you start at 9, you start working on your builds, or you're painting something, or whatever it is, right? And right before you finish off, you have a clock and everything, and then once you feel like fulfilled, like, all right, I went at it for a couple hours, 3 hours. This feels good. I think it's time to end it now. I call it a day. But let me set aside and already plan tomorrow. So tomorrow, when I come back, I'm going to leave these things here and these other things over here. So this is when I come back, I already know what I need to attack. I know what I need to do, right? What's the next step? Cool. And the rest, let me put all this stuff away, because it's not going to be useful for this next step. Let me clear out the table. You clean up, put everything away. Or you just leave everything as is, right? And then clean up, wash your hands and everything. Boom, lunchtime. You eat your lunch and everything. And then after, it was like, the guy said after he eats his lunch, now he has time to hang out with his wife, watching shows on TV or whatever, just chilling, the retired life, right? And then after that, it's like, all right, do we need to run any errands or what's going on? Let's do it up, do all that stuff, get it out of the way. And it's still daytime outside, And then finally you go, you know what? I want to go to sleep. I'm gonna get ready to go to sleep like around, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. Yeah, a lot of people might be, fuck, that's early. I don't go to sleep till midnight. Yeah, but you know, when you're retired and you have this plan already in your mind of what you're gonna do the next day, you're excited for the next day, right? But you also need that rest. You want to recover. You want your body to be well rested, so you're good for the next day. You know. So then, you go to sleep early. You get a good amount of sleep. Wake up in the morning and you do it again. And man, that sounds like a lot of fun right there to be doing something like that, right? And it's like, hey, congrats to you guys that are doing that right there. And even if if you're doing something else outside of scale modeling, you're doing something else. But as long as you keep your identity, you're doing your thing. That's what's up. You know. Let me see real quick before we wrap up the episode. I wanted to give some scalewriters.com store updates right here. Let me pull up the website. This last week I received some new items, some new products that arrived to the store. And let's see here. So we got all the orders that we put in for the real colors. These are the markers. So there's like chipping, tactical, tools, and those, they come in different colors. It's a 3-pack. Some kits that we got in, Aoshima, Gazelle, got a restock on that. There's also the Fujimi kits. We got a pretty good amount of Fujimi kits, and a lot of them we sold out of pretty fast when they came in. There's some that they repopped, some older ones that came back, and also some OG ones that we kind of restock on that right there too. Let's see what else. We also received the HIQ parts squeegees. Those are pretty neat. There was also a Fujimi Mark II and a Cresta that both come with an engine, which I thought was pretty cool. So you could pretty much open up the hood and you could put an engine in there as well. So that's pretty neat. We also got the Iwata Quick Fit. It's for the disconnect of the airbrush hose and the airbrush itself. We also got the Meng 135th scale nuts and bolts set A and B. I mentioned earlier, Model Art magazine. Those magazines are in. What else do we have here? We also got the Nunu Hobby Plots BMW 320i. This is the BTCC brands. We got the model in and the PE set on that. There was also a Mr. Hobby. This is Mr. Color GX208 metallic rough silver. So this one's like a tiny little bottle, 18 milliliter, and it's like around $4. But I was tripping out. I opened that thing and I shook it up and I was looking at it. It looked a lot like Orion Silver Max from House of Color. I was like, yo, these metallics. And from looking at the title, it says rough silver, so it's really flaky. And I was like, I'm gonna have to try this on a build and put it out there, so this way see what kind of results I get with that right there. So that was another one. We also got in the let me see, the Tamiya. Yeah, I think I already mentioned this. The Tamiya Fiats, the Porsches, those are all in stock right there. And then what's coming soon, so we have a really cool looking snap kit 132 scale from Aoshima. This is the Tamiya. It's a high ace van, but made into it's the high medic. Really, really cool right there. I hope they spoil us with some high ace vans, because if they do, I think I am gonna buy all of them for myself. But they look so dope. We also got let's see here, the ER34 Skyline that's coming out, the UROS 2002. Let's see what else. Aoshima Grand Champion Collection Best 3. So these are the 164 scale, like the die-cast line from Aoshima. Man, it feels like every year they come out with new die-cast, and we always pick up some boxes. So we will be carrying them on our website. I know there's a lot of people that collect these, and they're all blind box, but there's also some chase cars that there's a chance you might be able to score a chase on there. It's not, I don't think it's guaranteed in a case. I forget out of how many cases, like what the odds are or whatever, but I will be offering them in a case, and then later I will be offering them individual blind box as well. So, you know, if you want to collect the whole thing, then I would recommend get the case. So this way you're not just getting one and then later being like, oh man, let me get more, and then one won't. You know, it's better just get the whole case, and then you can have fun just kind of opening up each one right there. So that's coming up. It'll be out this month, and then we're getting in a few copies of the Aoshima Hilux Custom. That's coming out. Oh yeah, there's also a Snap Kit 132 scale Toyota Crown Patrol car. So it's like a Japanese police car that they're going to be doing in 132 scale. That one looks cool too. That's going to be pretty awesome on that one there. And then a huge restock on Aoshima wheels. The list is pretty long. I can't mention all the types, but we will be updating the site once we get these in, along with the VIP style insurance car from Aoshima, also the Auto Couture UCF 21 Celsior Toyota, another one you can do a VIP on as well. And I think that's it. I think that's everything right there. I mean, there's more stuff, but that's more like restocks. But I'm just trying to mention some of the new stuff right there. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good out there. Thanks for listening to this episode. Check out the shows and all the upcoming stuff. Make sure you check us out on Instagram at Scale Riders, also on YouTube at Scale Riders. And for anything hobby related, you know, restocks, coming soon, new arrivals, model kits, paints, and all that good stuff, tools, please visit our website, scaleriders.com. And I appreciate you guys for listening and spreading word and letting other fellow modelers know about this podcast and just bring more awareness to it. So take care and enjoy this first week of March, and I'll be back with you guys next week. All right, peace out.